not turning back again. Somebody go and tell the PM, TPP will set a trend. Tobago, we voting for the anchor, cause the anchor holes. Bang them! Chief Sec Farley, you're full of faith that make you the maidling. Tobago, TPP is a blessing. Farley, they say for all our we sure about that. TPP is a blessing. We have God by we side, so we born ready. Tobago not turning back again. No, we're not turning back again. We're not stupid and we know who I pretend. Turning back again. No, we're not turning back again. Somebody go and tell the PM, TPP will set a trend. Our status is the evidence. Trinidad not turning back again. No, we're not stupid and we know who I pretend. Do it once and now get for do it again. We want betterment, so we vote in TPP. Look how long we are asked for our own autonomy. They play with the trick, with the spin, with the fool. We every day them get up is key. One bag of jokers, TPP, let we keep focus. Nothing to break us. Give patience some time and watch Chief Sec Farley change the environment. You do it once and now.
Good evening. Golden Lane Junction. Welcome to the electoral district of Bethesda, Coteaux. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here in support of the incumbent Assemblyman Zorisha Hackett, and who is seeking a second term as the Assemblyman to represent this district in the Tobago House of Assembly. At this time, I want to ask Mr. Garth Charles to lead us in prayer, and that would be followed with the playing of the national anthem of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago by Ms. Lenique Matthews on our national instrument.
Yes. Pleasant night to each and every one. Tonight is a wonderful night. We are under the sprinkling of the blessings of Almighty God. Amen? So as you're about to begin, let us all just reverence God by just raising your hands. Let us raise our hands to reverence God. Amen? Eternal God and our Father, this evening, God, we give you the glory, we give you the praise. We give you the honor and the thanks, dear God, for being on this spot of our ground. We ask you, God, for your sanctification. We ask you, God, for your dedication and your blessings upon each and every one this evening. All those that are about to speak at this podium this evening, we bring the people of Golden Lane, Coteaux, Bethesda, Woodlands before you, God. And we ask you, God, this evening, as our representative, Ms. Zorisha Hackett, will stand before you this evening, God, and to stand before the people. We ask you, God, to cover her with your blessings. We ask you to pour your grace upon her this evening. And all those who will come to this podium, God, cover them with your blessing this evening, God. Let the words of their mouth and the meditation of their heart be acceptable before you, dear God. So we ask you this evening, in no other name, but in Jesus' name, as we are about to declare this meeting open this evening, in the name of Jesus, our Lord and Savior, this evening. I thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Mr. Charles and Ms. Matthews. Ladies and gentlemen, those who are here with us physically and those who are viewing online on all the social media platforms, welcome to Bethesda, Coteaux, the electoral district that ranges from Woodlands in the east to Bethesda in the west. Let me acknowledge the political leader of the Tobago People's Party and Chief Secretary of the Tobago House of Assembly, the Honorable Farley Augustine. Let me also acknowledge all deputy political leaders. Let me acknowledge the chairman of the Tobago People's Party, Ms. Ann Natasha II, and all other members of the executive. Let me also welcome all the candidates who are present tonight and all members of the Tobago House of Assembly. We are in the district of Assemblyman Zorisha Hackett.
You respect that? You respect
Brothers and sisters, this is going to be a good evening. Mr. DJ. Let me hear you. Woodlands in the east. We coming from lowlands in the east. And we making our way to the west. So we are coming down to the Golden Lane Junction. Let me see all those from Cologne. Let me see all those from Saltfish Hill. Let me see all those from Sandtrace. Let me see all those from Golden Lane. Those from Seaview. Those who are coming through Gate. And we are going down the hill to Coteaux. We are going down to Bosun Gully. Franklin Junction, let me see you. Zion Hill, let me see you. We are moving down to Ebo Gully. We are making it down to Annesville Road. We are heading into Plymouth, into Pentlands, into Homes of Adventure. We are going across the Blue Stocking Gully. We are going on the hill. We are going to Guinea Grass. We are going to Goat Rock. We are going into Freedom. And we are coming full circle. This is who we are. Tobago is we. Bethesda, Coteaux. Let me see you. Let me see your flags in the air. Let me see you. We are here. The anchor holds. And the anchor hold. Come January 12th, 2026. We are. Let me see you. All those from Bethesda, Coteaux. Thank you. Brothers and sisters, Tobago is we. Even though this district stretches from just on the outskirts of Moriah and ends in Bethesda, we are we. Just as the Colon River flows from its source in the northeast and it flows through this electoral district, it joins our communities together as it meanders through Woodlands and through Golden Lane and through Coteaux and finds its way to its end in Bethesda, Plymouth. So we are we. We are one. We are joined together. We cannot escape each other. So brothers and sisters, our meeting is going to move along. And I want to ask to come to talk to us now the chairman of the Tobago People's Party, Ms. Ann Natasha II.
First, yeah. TPP we voting for. Oh lad, we've been waiting so long. So long I've been waiting for election. So long I've been waiting for voting in the polls. Yeah. So long I've been longing for redemption, redemption, redemption. TPP as we pumping, TPP as we voting. Come bring out the friend, bring out the friend.
Golden Lane and environs, a pleasant good night. TPP family? TPP family? All you call like the weatherman, TPP family? I want to see more flags. I want to see more flags. Wave some flags. It is my distinct pleasure to endorse Assemblyman Zorisha Hackett. She is the candidate for the Tobago People's Party, and we all know, based on our level of organization, based on our patience to develop our political movement, based on our persistence to organize all of the people of Tobago, that the Tobago People's Party is really the only choice come January 12th, 2026, to return to office in Tobago. Do you agree with that? Ms. Hackett is one of my past students in whom I am well pleased. And from a very early age, she demonstrated the kind of tenacity that showed that she would succeed in every aspect of her life. But as an adult, I came to witness her development into the kind of woman that Tobago can be very proud of. When you look at Zorisha, you understand what a powerful Tobagonian woman is. I serve with her in the Division of Education, Research, and Technology. And I have witnessed her negotiate, work with different teams, those that are for us, those that are against us, to achieve goal after goal after goal after goal. And I know that as an assemblyman, she has given her love, her affection, her time, her resources to ensure that every type of family in Golden Lane, Woodlands, Coteaux, throughout her district has a connection to the Tobago House of Assembly, has a connection to the resources that we have, the little that we had. I am here to ask of you that all of you from every family, every organization in this district, go out to the polls in your numbers on January 12th, 2026, to confirm that Zorisha Hackett is the person to return in office as your assemblyman.
You respect that?
There really is no competition. I watched her while we were at the division, when they came hounding us down to take our devices, to embarrass us, to strip us of the rights that we had earned having won the election in December 2021. I watched her with dignity, dressed from head to toe, continue her duties from morning till night. And very often she does not leave the physical job until way into the night and is up again early in the morning to do her duty. I want to encourage you, all of you, to focus on all of the positive things that she has brought to the table and to reward her with another opportunity to continue to serve you. Why the Tobago People's Party? When we came into power, we brought a revolutionary spirit behind us to release what is best for Tobago. Our slogan this year, Tobago is we. That is because in the crowd we have those who are differently abled. You are we. In the crowd we have children. You are Tobago, you are we. In the crowd we have women, we have men, and we have persons who are from the upper class, the middle class, the lower class, every class. And we all have come together as one. In our crowd today, we have persons who come from blue, red, pink, purple, everywhere, and from at home. Persons who had never been interested in politics before. Why have we all gotten together to work in this one political organization? The inspiration, the leadership of our political leader. I want to see some flags of our young political leader, Farley, Chavez, Augustine.
You respect that? You respect that?
He has set in our hearts a dream that we did not perceive of, we could not conceive. The dream to become the greatest little island on the planet. In the beginning, we did not appreciate it, we did not understand it. By little, we have all come to appreciate that we were always meant to be the greatest little island on the planet. When we get together like this, and we work together day and night to ensure that at the polls, we record a resounding victory. We will achieve all that is necessary for us to become the greatest little island on the planet. But coming together tonight, coming together tomorrow night, coming together every night until elections will not win our election for us. We have to ensure, Shaquille, Ava, everybody, we have to ensure, Mother Bernie, that we gather all of the young people and convince them, gather all of the persons, whether it's based on religion, whatever our relationship is, and we have to reason with them so that they understand the good news that is coming from the Tobago People's Party. We have to convince persons that our assemblyman, Zorisha Hackett, has the tenacity. And then here's a response. Does Zorisha Hackett have the tenacity? No. I need to see some flags. Zorisha Hackett has the tenacity. She's worth the effort being placed tonight and every night to return her to office here in Golden Lane. And now start to feel a little warm. On the 12th of January, 2026, 6 a.m., we want to return not just our assemblyman, but all of the brand new faces that we have as candidates in our party. I know that our next speaker is Kern Alexis. Put your hands together for Kern.
You respect that?
Welcome him to the podium to make sure that he can deliver all of the positive things that we are bringing to the table. We also have for Boko Mount Pleasant, Keegan the Noon. Put your hands together for Keegan. We also have Roxmore Argyle, Orlando Cole. Put your hands together. Every single candidate come January 12, 2026, we want to declare victory for, and we want to declare that victory early in the day. There are others right now at this point in time, lurking in fancy hotels. A lot of those chairs are empty, unlike our chairs. And a lot of the faces don't look like we. A lot of the faces look like they were bussed in and boated in and flown in. I want to urge you to not get weary as we embrace the Christmas season and as we go into the new year. Find further energy and encourage one another more so that we will take every single seat from Spearside all the way to Crown Point for the Tobago People's Party. I will not stay very long. My intention was simply to come here to remind you that our Tobago People's Party has the right vision. That vision is for us to be the greatest little island on the planet in education, agriculture, every single sector of the economy. I simply came here to remind you that there is no option nomination for Assemblyman of this district than Zorisha Hackett. I simply came here to remind you that the journey, even though the election season seems short, the journey is a long one. And you are not to become weary. You are not to grow tired. We are going to help each other to get to the place where we bring home the victory once again for Tobago, because Tobago is. You respect Tobago that. Is. You respect that. You respect that. Thank you, Chairman and Natasha second. You know, the chairman asked whether you think that Assemblyman Zorisha Hackett has the tenacity. Let me hear you say whether she has the tenacity or not.
You respect that.
I want you to remember Zorisha 1, never 2. Brothers and sisters, she has proven herself as a worthy servant from January 2021 until now. She has never faltered. She has kept herself going. She has kept to the wheel. Brothers and sisters, tonight I want to introduce to us the candidate for Plymouth Blackrock, my candidate, Mr. Kern, Alexis.
It's Juve. I come out to dirty my finger. I'm ready to dirty my finger. Paint and oil, rub it all over. Let me get money together. I come out to dirty my finger. I'm ready to dirty my finger. Chop chop come from a Grenada. So let me get dirty together. No afraid to go down low, go down. I come out to dirty my finger. I'm ready to dirty my finger. I come out to dirty my finger. I'm ready to dirty my finger. Paint and oil, rub it all over. Let me get money together. I come out to dirty my finger. I'm ready to dirty my finger. Chop chop come from a Grenada. So let me get.
Golden Lane, good night. Wait, sorry, I'm not hearing all it. Golden Lane, good night. It is a pleasure to be here tonight to endorse my partner in this mission, Ms. Zorisha Hackett, my family, my friend, and my comrade. I stand on all protocols observed. A special good night to everyone in this district, the fathers, the mothers, the farmers, the small business owners. We see you, we appreciate you, and we stand with you. My name is Kern DeBerrio Michael Alexis, affectionately known as Martin. I am from Rabbit Lane, Plymouth, Tobago, a true barrack boy, a true Plymouth man, and a proud Tobagonian. Tonight, I cannot be prouder to be here to endorse Ms. Zorisha Hackett. Cannot be prouder. My days of primary school started off in Blackrock Government School. Then I moved across to Bethesda Government Primary School. This is where the intelligent, the indomitable, the caring, the loving Zorisha and I, our paths came colliding. Back in those days, we had one post office that most people went to on afternoons. So when it is that school was over, we would leave Bethesda Government School, run home, drop our bags at home, and then came back to go to the post office to collect it. But there was such a rich rivalry between the people from Bethesda Government School and Plymouth Anglican School, which Zorisha attended. There was a lot of lines drawn in that section with chalk. We had to cross the line if it is that we wanted to get to the post office. Ladies and gentlemen, there was one day Zorisha Hackett, you heard the noise, the short person in the back, the voice, the squeaky voice. Why all you stop that? All of his friends and family, man, oh gosh, let's stop that nonsense, man. And all the way in the chalk. That was the point in time that I met that person. Small in stature, but large in personality, large in leadership, large in community. Even though that was the first time that I met Zorisha, we are family. Her grandfather, Mr. King Bolt, given name Clinton Romeo. He was the nephew of my grandmother, Miss Vernick Romeo. Very close family from Plymouth and Bethesda. Very, very close-knit people. Zorisha and I went on to Bishop's High School, where she continued her leadership skills. Passionate. I remember the days where the younger students would come up to our classroom and visit Zorisha. They came to share their daily experience. They came to listen to Zorisha's mentorship, and they also came for Zorisha to share and teach them how best to go through secondary school. Zorisha was a teacher since in Form 4. Loving, caring, and understanding, compassionate. That is who Zorisha Hackett is. I like to consider her as an iceberg. You see her, the nice structure on the surface, but beneath is much more that meets the eyes. Much more than meet the eyes. What we see is the dreamy eyes, but behind those eyes is a brain that processes things way faster, way more innovative than most of us can even understand. Zorisha would be up late in the night, calling everybody to get things together, put things in place. Behind those fancy clothes, there is a heart made of gold. Always, always considering people with empathy, with care, and with compassion. Her voice, always speaking for the people, always giving us what we need. The voice that advocates for each and everyone in this district and in Tobago. Behind those fancy shoes, what we see is feet that have walked this district time and time again, advocating for each and everyone in this district. Zorisha is tireless and she is timeless, and we appreciate her for that. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot be prouder to be here on this stage to support, to endorse Zorisha Hackett. And going forward, the TPP, under the leadership of Mr. Farley Chavez Augustine, we are going to take all 15 seats. All 15 seats.
You respect that? You respect that?
One thing I've learned from Zorisha that I will keep in my heart forever is no matter how difficult the journey gets, smile, look good, feel good, and don't you ever forget the people that put you there. That is why I know Bethesda Golden Lane is going to put her back so that she can continue all the hard work that she has started for this district. And we are going to work together. We are going to work together to bring home all 15 seats for the TPP and the people of Tobago. I love you. Thank you for listening, and have a good night.
I come out to dirty my finger. I'm ready to dirty my finger. Paint and oil, rub it all over. Let me get
Thank you,
together. I come out to dirty
candidate for Plymouth Black Rock, Mr. Kern Alexis. Brothers and sisters, this community is rich in culture and goes to great pains to preserve our heritage. Brothers and sisters, welcome to Golden Lane. Welcome to Bethesda, Coteaux again. Enjoy the culture, the tradition, the dance, the music, all that encompasses this electoral district. Mark me. Oh God, girl, you come up and go the lane for Cizia.
Yes, girl.
Girl, me reach up here because me hear she are the best in the lot.
Well, girl, me hear them say she not good. Them crazy?
And she bright, sir. She been our teacher, you not know that.
But I me thought they say all she good for dress up. Well, here now, me want for hear she talk tonight.
Me too. Me say they said that she like to dress up and she's a dolly. But the woman does look real good. The bowl.
Well, I me dolly tonight too.
All are we dolly. You saw how we dress up in our gang story, yeah? And we are wine our we waste tonight for who?
Zorisha Hackett.
Is two Zorisha or one?
The only one, no cloning.
Once year, never two went. Boom, boom, boom. Once year, never two.
No one.
Is one. Eh? Well, here now, me know she real bright, so me I bring out one man for talk about she. Go to let people all want for hear about Zia. Eh? Well, me I bring on the one and only Nazi Joel Samson. Are we Tobago West Parliament representative for tell all more about Zia tonight.
Golden Lane, good night. Golden Lane, good night. How we feeling tonight? Who we supporting tonight? Allow me to stand on the already established protocols. Tonight I am here to endorse my sister, my colleague, my friend, your own Zorisha Hackett. Zorisha Hackett was raised in Bethesda, Plymouth, and began her educational journey at Sunbeam Kindergarten before enrolling at Plymouth Anglican Primary School, where she excelled both academically and athletically. She later attended Bishop's High School, Tobago, earning full certificates at the ordinary and advanced level examinations. These achievements laid a firm foundation for what would become her life's calling in the field of education. Her career began as an English teacher at Coteaux High School. She subsequently proceeded on study leave to pursue a Bachelor of Arts in English Language and Literature with education at the University of the West Indies, graduating with honors. During that time, she was awarded the prestigious Departmental Prize for Best Linguistic Research by the Faculty of Humanities and Education. Assemblyman Hackett also holds several postgraduate diplomas in education and linguistics, as well as a Master of Science in Political Science. She is currently pursuing a Master of Science in Strategic Leadership and Innovation. She spent 9 dedicated years teaching at Scarborough Secondary School before establishing the Tobago English Academy, reflecting her deep commitment to educational development at every level. Throughout her professional journey, she has remained a staunch advocate for fairness and equity, particularly for educators. Her voice has been steadfast in calling out the poor treatment of contract teachers, a cause that remains close to her heart now that she serves as Secretary of Education, Research, and Technology. She continues to fight on behalf of the very teachers she once shared the staff room with, ensuring that their needs, rights, and contributions receive the respect they deserve at the highest levels of decision-making. Assemblyman Zorisha Hackett's fearless advocacy, grounded community presence, and infectious passion for people have shaped her political trajectory. Her work across her electoral districts has helped her build authentic, lasting relationships, fueling her drive to effect meaningful change. That same drive led her to serve first as area representative for the Plymouth Golden Lane electoral district and now for Bethesda Coteaux. As Secretary of Education, Research and Technology in the Tobago House of Assembly, she is guided by a powerful blend of experience, empathy, and excellence. Her mission remains clear: to empower her people, honor her colleagues, and transform her community. Golden Lane, tonight I am here to speak to you. I am here to let you know that there is only one choice come January the 12th. And that choice is Zorisha Hackett.
You respect that?
She is the present assemblyman for the area and future assemblyman for this electoral district. Those on the other side, painted it red with their red petticoat and their red balisé, will come to try to mamagai you. They will come to try to fearmonger you. They will come to try to bribe you into voting for them. But don't take that chance, Golden Lane. Don't take that chance, Bethesda and Coteaux. Because there is only one choice. That's the right choice. Grounded deep in the anchor. Grounded deep is Zorisha Hackett.
You respect that? You respect that?
When you look at their campaign, when you think back to April, as I reminisce of being in this area, when they said, nobody lives here. In 2021, they said, nobody lives here. But the people of Tobago has showed them that 60,000 strong lives here. Tobago is we. Tobago was never P&M. They get a little touch of the vehicle. You know when they give somebody a little touch of your vehicle, and they get driving a nice vehicle, they want to hold on to it, and then sometimes they eventually mash it up. But on December the 6th, 2021, we took back that vehicle and we started repairing that vehicle. And according to an influencer on the internet, brick by brick, we have started building back Tobago and aiming to become the greatest little island on the planet. So come January the 12th, don't take God out of your thoughts and give them an opportunity to break down those bricks that we have started rebuilding. They said on their platform, give them an opportunity. They said, forget the 21 years. How can we forget 21 years of slavery? How can we forget 21 years of victimization? How can we forget 21 years of nepotism? How can we forget 21 years of injustice? How can we forget 21 years of corruption? But look at Tobago now. Look at what this Farley Chavez-led Augustine, this Farley Chavez-Augustine-led executive has done to the island of Tobago. He has transformed Tobago with this wonderful team that he has assembled. When you look at the rate of development in Tobago now, it is fast-paced, it is on track. And in only 4 years, just 4 short years, and they try to compare 4 years to 21 years. But when they come to your doorstep, I want you to tell them that they have come to a dead end. You know what is a dead end? You see it has some hills when you go up, and it have nowhere to go. That is the P&M. They have come to a dead end. Their time has ended in Tobago. So on January the 12th, we will prepare 15 red caskets to go in the political cemetery where we will put each and every one of them. I remember in April when they had their debate and I didn't attend. One came on the platform and she said, appear, not see, appear. But when not see appeared, she disappeared off the face of the planet. Now she come back out and she want to talk. Go back to your political grave in the political cemetery and lie down there. the people of Bethesda, Coteaux, the people of Golden Lane are only making one choice. That is the right choice, and that is Zorisha Hackett. So come January the 12th, you have one option. There may be others, but there is one option and one choice. That's the Tobago People's Party. So get up early on the morning of January the 12th, early before the first cock crow. Grab your nenen, grab your granny, grab your daddy, grab your auntie, grab a neighbor, and go out to the polls and ram the X by the Tobago People's Party, ram the X for the anchor, ram the X for Zorisha Hackett as we continue to make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. Golden Lane, I thank you.
Bethesda, Coteaux, put your flags in the air, put your hands together, and welcome Zorisha Hackett, your incumbent and the only choice on January 12th, 2026. Welcome, Zia, one Zorisha, never two. Boom, boom.
You go learn, you go learn, you go learn, you go learn, you go learn. TPP, straight victory, Bethesda, Coteaux, who ready? Who we want here, who we need, see ya. No counterfeit, we need a real view. Tell the opposition one see ya, never two. Boom, boom, boom. One see ya, never two. Boom, boom, boom. TPP taking over the whole venue. TPP taking over the whole venue. Watch the movement, watch the pace. See ya Hackett running the place. Bethesda stand up, show them your hand. Homes of adventure, we ruling the land. Mash up the tingling, golden land. Ready for the mingling, from the top to the bottom. Hear what we say, Woodlands crew, clear out the way. We represent hard, we represent loud. Zia is the leader, making us proud. We no want no talk, we want action, yeah. TPP is the only traction, yeah. Every street, every corner, every crew, sing it one Zia never two, one Zia never two. Roll call, put your light in the air. Goat rock, freedom, have no fear. Blue stocking stepping out fresh and clean. Arnold's veil walking up on the scene. Margot, we'll TPP. Straight victory. Bethesda. Coteaux, who no ready? Who we want here, who we need, see ya. No counterfeit, we need a real view. Tell the opposition one see ya, never two. Boom, boom, boom. One see ya, never two. Boom, boom, boom. TPP taking over the whole venue. TPP taking over the whole venue. Watch the movement, watch the pace. See ya Hackett running the place. Bethesda stand up, show them your hand. Homes of adventure, we ruling the land. They got to mash up the tingling, golden land. Ready for the mingling, from the top to the bottom. Hear what we say, Woodlands crew, clear out the way. We represent hard, we represent loud. Zia is the leader, making us proud. We no want no talk, we want action, yeah. TPP is the only traction, yeah. TPP.
One Zia, never two.
Bethesda. Coteaux, who no ready? Who we want here, who we need, see ya. No counterfeit, we need a real view. Tell the opposition one Zia, never two. Boom, boom, boom.
One Zia, never two.
Boom, boom, boom. TPP, taking me.
Golden Lane, good night.
I've seen people from Bethesda in the house. Bethesda, good night.
You respect that? You respect
Leketo people all come up the hill. Leketo, good night. Woodlands people all come down the hill. Woodlands, good night. I am Zorisha Hackett, affectionately known as Zia, daughter of Clyde and Julia Hackett, granddaughter of Bernard Romeo, Idris Joseph, Ivan Hackett, and Ika Guy. Pay attention to the guy coming back there just now. As Joel Samson said, I was born and raised in Bethesda Trace. And this is actually going to be my 3rd term in office because, as you know, I was one of the 6 in that 6-6 period. And then, of course, on December the 6th, 2021, you, the residents of Bethesda, Coteaux, elected me to be your area representative.
You respect that? You respect that?
The last time this area had a true representative was the late, great Hochoy Charles. Alai? Golden Lane, alai? After Hochoy, we had a man who served 3 terms, called himself Chief. All remember that man there? Godwin Adams. Not 1 term, not 2 terms, 3 whole terms. And then after him, we had my dear friend, Zorisha Osman. That is my darling, so I ain't talking bad about she. I love she. And then after that, yours truly, for 11 months, Plymouth Golden Lane, and for the last 4 years, Bethesda, Coteaux. BLC, good night. My people, what I'm here to do is to give an account of my last 4 years in office. For me, this role has never been one about titles and accolades. No, it has always been one of service to the people. I did not get involved in politics because, like my chief secretary, I had a dream. I always wanted to be a teacher. Daddy in the crowd tonight, tell them, I always wanted to be a teacher. And when me and my chief secretary took the Tobago House of Assembly to court for the poor treatment of contract teachers, and he said, listen, it's time to do something about it. Where he led, I followed. Chief Secretary, are you in the house tonight?
You respect that? You respect that?
Bethesda Coteaux, I am the product of a 16-year-old mother. And at that age, when you should be in school, she was having me. And she could have made a different choice. But she had me. And I think God knew exactly what he was doing. Because the people that raised me, and I love that adage, it takes a village to raise a child. The people that raised me, that Plymouth Bethesda area, were the ones who pushed me into this field of politics. And I've seen my namesake in the audience tonight. Zorisha Julienne, you are one of them who actually told me, listen, yes, probably it's not your destiny, you're not seeing it, but you are going to make an excellent area representative because of your heart. And you see, when you get involved in this for heart, everything else comes naturally thereafter. When I first offered myself for service, Bethesda Coteaux, I knew the road would not have been easy. We were doing this in the midst of COVID. Y'all remember? And so while some were doing a hold-on, roll-on executive, holding on to 2 and 3 and 4 divisions, your 6, and even the 6 who had not won, were on this ground daily, meeting your needs. From pop-up tents, serving you bread, and they talk it all over the place, but they up and down giving out bread now. To ensuring that we provided you with food support, academic support for those who could not get online, providing laptops, providing you with all the basic necessities to get you through that period. And we know that Tobago would not have forgotten how the PNM treated us in that period. And so in December, y'all put your fingers where your mouth was and elected 15. I'm saying 15 in big because you went and sleep with 15 and wake up and see 14 there. But it's all right. That was just the dress rehearsal. The 15 nil coming in the tail. 12th of January 2026.
You respect that?
Now in this term in office, the chief secretary in his wisdom gave me the profile of Secretary of Education, Research, and Technology. And yes, my technical advisor and former teacher spoke to our many accomplishments there at DIRTEC. For me, it came naturally. As I said before, teaching was my life goal. And so when I walked into that building on Dutchford Plaza on the 12th of December 2021, I walked in there with passion, with heart, ready to do the work. Orlando Kerr walked in there as my assistant secretary, and we got down to business from day one. Now, the kind of mess the PNM left in that division. Listen to me. When we said that we fix this, we really had fixing to do now. Real fixing. Imagine, with schools closed to 2 years. Yes, there was a period where you could not have any construction. But there were periods where you could. And so that former administration left the 57 schools under our purview to deteriorate. Where when we came into office in that first year, we had to expend $40 million to bring our schools back up into operation. Yes, it's an achievement, but we should not have gone there. What 21 years, and they're vexed when we said 21 years. The facts is the facts. You had 5 consecutive terms. We should have come into office and had a smooth ride. But if we had to do so much fixing, it means that your 21 years was a waste. Facts, not fax machine. Under the Division of Education, Research, and Technology, as I said before, major repairs and upgrades to schools. And I'll come back there because I want to address some talk on contractors. We expanded and extended financial assistance to tertiary students in DATAS. The technical advisor who is here and my personal advisor, we pulled up a policy where we were able to roll out community impact. This is giving adult literacy to students, adult students, across all 15 districts of Tobago, right here in this very community. And Project Impact to ensure that our students were ready for secondary school. We developed several policies, none that were in existence in the 21 years that the VEX we're talking about of the People's National Movement. And I'm listing them out tonight. The Tobago-centric educational policy, implementation of the hybrid education program, establishment of the Tobago special education policy. We built out a pan-in-schools curriculum. We strengthened student support and inclusive education. And of course, we improved teacher development through new HR policies. My Bethesda Coteaux people are taking me time to speak about my THA duties before I come to my area rep duties, because my area rep duties mean so much more to me. Now, let me be very clear tonight. This administration did the work even when the funding wasn't there. I want all of you to understand the kind of bad mind these Balizé drinking people does come with. So you have PNM in Trinidad and TPP in Tobago. Of course, they wouldn't want it to look good. They're fine. Too much what's happening too quick. And it's facts, underfunded. I don't want anybody to tell me the dollars and cents is more. Look at the percentage. If I have $100 and I'm giving you 5% of it, and I have $800 and I'm giving you 5% of it, you can't tell me it's more. The percentage is what you have to take on. But they keep dangling this more money in our face. We have only received more money under this current government in Trinidad. And that is facts. My people, they like to talk about 21 verses 4. But I want to compare a 4-year term of the TPP with a 4-year term of the PNM. And I'm going to use the last 4 years. And I'm even using the first 4 years. You know, your first 4 years, you're settling in. That might be the better comparison to make. But I want you to see PNM in their peak right before we won them and show you 4 years versus 4 years. Let us start with assistance to necessitous students. This is students coming from homes where either both parents are unemployed or one parent is unemployed. And the Division of Education, Research and Technology, under my leadership, was able to expend $625,000 to 5,219 Tobago students in the last 4 years. Now listen, just now, PNM, 2017 to 2021, 4-year periods. COVID, you're supposed to be spending money on Tobago because Tobago is we. Here, how much PNM spent 4 years? 950,000 to 2,000 students. So we spent, how much I tell earlier? 2.6 million in 4 years versus their 950,000. I want all to tell me we're comparing apples with apples tonight. 4 versus 4 across the board. Of course, the TPP outweigh them. School repairs. Over the last 4 years, my residents, the Division of Education, Research and Technology, undertook the most extensive school repair program in the history of the Tobago House of Assembly. All I need to pull a hand together for that. That with schools.
We respect that.
That is with schools, so we trend. Across that 4-year period, DIRTEC expended 115,728,929. You hear how much I say? 115 million. The money song bigger. And this investment covered ECC centers, primary, secondary, and of course our Roxborough Trade Center. My people, this wasn't cosmetic work. This wasn't patchwork. This wasn't shoddy work. This was true TPP work. I want to speak to the burden we inherited. Because you know, of course, they're boasting about how much they do. Let me give you 2 examples of money they spend, and we can't get the deliverables from it yet. All I hear about the Kendall Aquatic Facility, a pool we have up in Kendall. All right. The Kendall Aquatic Facility is not even 8 years old. And hear what? When we got into office, that pool was shut down because of shoddy work, because you know they like to get their contractors kickback. So everything had to do shoddy. The Division of Education under my leadership was able to refurbish that Kendall Aquatic Facility to the tune of $2.6 million. Now, why we had to be refurbishing a building not even 8 years, 10 years old yet? Why? And they're just upset when you're telling them that we refurbish and we recommission. Had you done it properly in the first place, we wouldn't have anything to refurbish. All you agree? Here, next one. The Scarborough Library. All you remember when some earthquake, I must say, was in high school, shake Tobago and mash up. We had a bus terminal, we had a post office, and we had a library. PNM took almost 15 years. People finish school, make picnic, and come back and they can't finish it yet. And that library, a project that began, as I said, so many years ago, and drag on in cost overruns, of course, because it's friends to the boys, PNM style. We had to go in and repair the roof for $2 million just the other day. PNM boasting about how much they deliver to Tobago. Why we had to come in and refurbish, recommission, and fix. But I want to tell you how responsible government looks like. Responsible government is understanding that, yes, you want to build everything. You're going there bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. You want to build everything. We could have ignored the library and go and build something else. Yeah? We could have ignored the Kendall Aquatic Facility and put a nice one up in Mariah on the north side so north side trend could swim to. But we cannot refute the fact that governance is a continuous journey. You don't come in and throw away everything they do. You see the same thing they do in Trinidad. When the UNC went out of office, what happened? What did PNM do? Shut down and close down everything. 10 years later, they had to come back and open everything. Bad mind PNM politics. Bad mind PNM politics.
You will learn.
Now, I want my producers to pull some things up on the screen for me. Because Golden Lane people, no, producer, just now. Let me address something before we go there. Y'all hearing this talk about Trinidad contractors, Tobago contractors ain't getting nothing, Trinidad, south of the Caroni Bridge? Tell me if all don't hear that talk. That the refrain, they're talking it over and over again. Let me give you an example of how lied there is. In the Division of Education, using home by me, under the project implementation unit, that is us repairing the schools in-house, 54 companies were engaged over the last 4 years. And 53 of them were Tobago companies. The one Trinidad company that was engaged was in a category no other Tobago contractor was in. Tobago people go and mind all of business. The one contractor was in a category nobody else was in. So this is PIU in-house. Under EID cut, all I hear about EID cut, that is who with us contract to manage the thing externally. Over the last 4 years, 61 companies engaged, and of them, 60 were Tobago-based and 1 Trinidad-based. So over the last 4 years, in my division, 115 contractors engaged, 113 Tobago contractors, and I'm talking about small, nice, beautiful, now coming out and trying to do the thing contractors, building the capacity. And 2, the Trinidad contractors. Facts tonight. Mathematically, that is 98.2% of Tobago contractors. Tobago contractors, we minding your business in this party because Tobago is we. Tobago is we.
You respect that? You respect that?
Now I could stand up here whole night and talk about the work I do in the Division of Education. But I want to talk to you about the work I did in this electoral district. Because at the end of the day, that is what you're judging me on, my performance here. Over the last 4 years in this Bethesda Coteaux electoral district, and I'm boasting about it, we refurbished the Coteaux Community Center, where people like Hyacinth and Giselle all up big up all whole self. Because that community center, and I'm proud about it, it's one of the oldest community centers in Tobago. And the PNM promised the poor people at Coteaux, term in, term out. Term in, term out. Let's talk, more action with Zia. Let's talk, more action. Talia, you're sticking on me with my sound effects. Talia, wake up. The Culloden Fishing Facility, where people like LG and Andrew Kwashwalia. Now we understand that sometimes not everything you want you could get. If it was up to me, if it was up to me, everything you want you could get. But of course, we have to mind with the budget.
You respect
and
that.
so y'all wanted specific things done there, some minor cosmetic things. But for the most part, that Culloden Fishing Facility, under my leadership and through the Division of Food Security, was refurbished. Big up yourself, Golden Lane.
You respect that. You respect that.
Now, before I go further, I want to talk about some infrastructural works in this village. Producer, talk to me. Because I want to show the people the thing on the screen. Technical problems? Golden Lane residents, I want to start with you. I go down to Coteaux and then I go down to Bethesda after. Let me start with you, Golden Lane. We had a consultation in this district within the second year of me being in office in the Golden Lane Community Center. I brought Secretary Trevor James. If you was there, say something. I brought him. I said, James, listen, we have so many infrastructural issues in this district. Because you know the PNM bad mind, because Troy Charles, the lovely Golden Lane, you bad mind the Golden Lane when you come into office. And I sat down with my people and I said, listen, we can't do everything at once. Rome wasn't built in a day. Let us sit down and make a priority list. I asked the residents, I said, if you had to judge one street as being the street that needs the most development, which street is it? And they unanimously agreed, Old Ground. Old Ground. Andrew Kwashia was there. We actually sat and made a list thereafter, street by street. And I did the same thing in the other villages to ensure that my people could understand in 4 years, you can't do everything. Right. We start off in Old Ground. We organized to have 3 retaining walls built in Old Ground. I want you to pay attention to me tonight. 2 started and were completed. We also had 2 on this road to Mount Thomas too. One by the Evangel Church and one by Mr. Nando and them going in by them Glasgow. All you know what I'm talking about, right? Right. But I want to talk about a specific one in Old Ground. Retaining wall number 2 at Old Ground Trace, Golden Lane. Contract value, $1.282 million. How much money I say? All right, so we got to round it off. $1.3 million. Given to Nasvik Contractors Limited. Pay attention to the name because I'm coming back there. Who has I given to? Start date of the contract, November 2022. Expected completion of the contract, January 2023. If you understand the maths, how much months may wall was supposed to be built in? November 2022 to January 2023. All right, give or take 3 months. So after the division, and where is Secretary Trevor James tonight? Where him? The Division of Infrastructure, helping small and medium contractors, decided to give them a 50% mobilization. What 50% mean? Half. So you have a 1.3 million contract, and I give you half. Pay attention. Anybody living in Old Ground or no Old Ground? Where them Coopers live and all you know the road breaking way, probably if you pass there tomorrow if the rain fall too hard, it gone? Any wall build there? Oh, a little lower down at Golden Lane Contractor. Big up yourself, Mr. Seeley. Completed. Completed. Because he understand Tobago is we. But we sticking on Nasvik Contractors. And our court house closed. When I check in on the wall, no wall, I call James because I just nag James. James hate to see me come in. I just nag him. When me wall, email sent to the contractors, calls made, all kind of formal issuing of documentation. These young men pocket the people money and not build no wall. Nasvik Contractors Golden Lane people want the wall. But let me tell you why I'm talking about Nasvik Contractors. The mark busing tonight. The current opponent of one Miss Zorisha Hackett, the People's National Movement's current candidate, is being campaign managed and financed by Nasvik Contractors. So, you sit down with me and Niall George before the election. You put me sit down and I'm going to call the business people name because my family after all, but I hate ugly. You sit down with me. Let me hear your plans for the district, Zorisha. Let me hear your plans for the district, Niall. And we sit down and we talk about everything we would do. And I tell them the OPR is coming. It was the PCO that was a Tobago-based procurement entity. The OPR is coming. You all get yourself in check. Golden Lane people, and I bring people here to teach all how to do procurement in all the center. Lekito and Bethesda. Well, Lekito, we didn't get to do it in Lekito because your center was fixing. Bethesda people and I do the same thing because I just mind my district business. Right. We sit down, we talk about the youth activities, initiatives to develop the district, everything we talk about. And as soon as I got into office, they come hanging me down for contract. All right? Put your hat in the ring, do the correct thing, and hope you get through. You walk in the village of Bethesda. You walk in the nooks and crannies of Coteaux. You walk in the hills and valleys of Golden Lane and telling people, you want to vote me out because me ain't do nothing for you. That's how government does work. Tobago is we. I am not a servant to a group of young men. I want to be Tobago 1%. The residents of the electoral district of Bethesda Coteaux elected me to serve each and every one. All, not a group. And so Some of the financiers now claiming that they didn't receive anything under us. They lied. And I have the facts tonight. So here the little campaign crew for one Mr. Guy, my whole cousin. C&K Equipment Rentals. And I look go and do all the research to see soon. Over the last, and I come 3 years, I got updated soon. $2.5 million in contracts. Catalyst Enterprises, $1.58 million in contracts. NASBIC contractors, so other than this wall, they do things in school, repair, and wherever else they do it. $2.6 million. There is another group here, and I'm hearing that the current opponent is a director on the company. But I want to double check my information first. And in that Plymouth meeting, I got explained to all if he really is one. But collectively, the group of financiers and campaign managers for my opponent under this current administration received almost $13.5 million in contracts. And they're walking from the marish to the parish and telling people, I ain't do nothing for them. So they're making it their duty to vote me out. Tobago, over my dead body, I am going to defend this district against corrupt P&M contractors, against corrupt P&M financiers.
You respect that?
I hold my tongue. I warned Kelvin Morris in the last sitting that I'm afraid to call name and I'm going to do it outside the house for no parliamentary cover.
You respect
I
that?
have it here.
Respect that?
I hope that my wall that not existent showing up on the live. Because Golden Lane people, if you don't know what I'm talking about, make a trek up tomorrow. Ask where the wall there. I want me wall or bring back the people money. I don't want to digress too much. You're going to get plenty of this in the next coming weeks. And I know the chief is going to continue on this false narrative about Tobago versus Trinidad contractors. But let me continue the work I do in this district. Cut 6 brand new roads. And of the 6, 3 were cut out of my own pocket. Me hire excavator and backhoe for go cut them. Name 15 streets because the streets couldn't get lights and mails couldn't go to people if the streets and them in a name. 15 streets. Repaired and refurbished the Bethesda Government Primary School, the Table Peace Government Primary School, the Golden Lane Government Primary School, and of course, my Plymouth Bethesda ECCE over the last 4 years to the tune of $12 million. So the district schools spruce up nice.
You respect that? You respect
But as area representative, not everything you run into the THA for. If my salary is almost 2.5, nearly 3 times what I was making as a teacher, I owe it to my residents to reinvest in them. And so every month, I take 1/3 of my salary. Oh gosh, my daddy and my significant other and everybody must just vex with me. But if my people didn't like me, I have no work. And if me have no work, me have no money for draw. So every month, I invest 1/3 of my salary into my district. And let me tell you what 1/3 of the salary does do. People with trend in this district. For 2 years, my team and I have been running something called the Bethesda Coteaux Junior Skills Training Camp. You all know what that is? Where you train learning to cook, to knit seam, to make farine, to make pone, to sew, to crochet, masonry, plumbing, carpentry. And that program over the last 2 years cost me $140,000. Because let me tell you something, Tobago is we. And everything can't be a road and a drain. You have to develop the minds and the capacity of your people. Because an empowered people wouldn't let P&M fool them into voting them back again. My elders care program, and this is one I don't take out pictures for. Because when you're going to your elders, where people probably neglecting them, people leave them alone, not fighting up with them, they're in their way. My elders care program, $250,000 invested in my elders in the last 4 years. Area Representative Home Improvement Program. And this has nothing to do with the grants from settlements or self-help. I'm talking about me buying cement and steel and galvanize for my people to finish their house. An investment over the last 4 years of $400,000 on my people.
You respect that?
Laptop supports for residents who can't afford. And I'm not talking about what the Division of Education has helped with. I'm talking about from me or people who sponsor because they see me going somewhere with me people. 6 families were assisted to build their homes from scratch out of sponsorship and my money. Over 85 residents supported to access housing or home repair assistance through THA entities such as the Division of Settlements. Food support. 685 residents received food support through my office from the Divisions of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, and of course, the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport. And let me tell you something. My residents doesn't have to go in town by the office them to get a form. Every form for every THA entity is in that Bethesda Coteaux office. And my girls can't play mad and walk the street and don't have a form on them. So if a resident asks for it, they could get the assistance one time.
You respect that. You respect that.
Over the last 4 years, I was able to pull off several initiatives here. Football tournaments, all 4 tournaments, open mic forums, school supply distributions, senior citizen luncheons, Christmas hampers, bread drives. And talking about that, my Christmas hamper drive would be on the 21st of December. My Christmas party, which I see they're trying to make rabs on social media about, will be on the 23rd of December. And my elders brunch, all-white brunch, will be on the 2nd of January. And this is not no politics. From day one, I have been doing the work.
You respect that. You respect that.
Now, Bethesda Coteaux, you are a district blessed with aesthetic beauty, cultural archives, gems that are untouched and undiscovered. Right up the hill, we have a slave cemetery that the purport Gangang Sarah was buried in. We had a silk cotton tree that when the people do what they have to do, the poor tree fall down. We have a water wheel hidden in the bushes in Anna's Vale. Right out there is a reef that borders with Anna's Vale. And so many other historic sites. And as Secretary of Education, Research and Technology, I took it upon myself to research the history of our cultural icons and attractions because I wanted us to be able to document it. It's something we don't do as a people. We don't document it. So when you're asking about the history of something, everybody telling you something else. I don't want that. And in my short stint with responsibility for culture and antiquities, I was able to build out with the technical advisor there some policies that would protect our attractions. And let me tell you something, we could have run in here and done some things in the last month. And I'll come to that when we're talking about the Culloden Recreation Ground because I come in the next. We could have built out some things, but I told them no. The worst thing that could happen to our people is minutes to our election, you look like you're now doing something. Let us work and regain the seat and come back for 4 years and deliver to the people what they justly deserve.
You respect
You're not
that.
running. Yes, this is the time where it was materialized. This is the time. But because I understand how the politics does work, let me take my time and do it when I come back. Do it properly. We're not rushing over like PNM style. We're not doing it like that. I want to know if the producer could put up a deed for me on the screen. And I'm going to read the deed for you all. Now, when I started working this electoral district in 2020, the #1 community deliverable, and this is where you ask residents what you want, not for yourself, but for the community. And Golden Lane's #1 priority, outside of the roads and the drains and the walls, was a recreation space. When I looked at the past administration's work that they said that they did in acquiring, you had all kind of fight down with people saying Golden Lane too small of a community to have its own recreation ground. Golden Lane is nestled between 2 recreation grounds, Mariah and Table Peace, so they're bound for one. And I said, listen, Golden Lane, I'm not promising all of it, Too much people promise it. I just want to be able to deliver. I just want to be able to deliver. When I looked at where the original proposed site was, I realized we had to spend some money for it. I said, if we spend this money for this thing, it got to take a little while to develop it. I said, Chief, since I'm a little girl, I hear in the THA, and this called estate, and money in escrow, and we just had to pay something and get it. And this Tobago House of Assembly went to work to acquire that Culloden estate for you, the residents of Golden Lane. And I read in the deed. This deed, made on the 28th day of October, in the year of our Lord, 2024. When I say? Die last yet? Between First Citizens Bank Limited, a body corporate, incorporated and continued under the laws of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, with the principals situate, and it gives the address, and the vendor of the one part, and the Tobago House of Assembly, a body corporate, established pursuant to Section 141A of the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago, and it go on and go on and go on with the legalese, right? But I want to just push forward. That Culloden estate was purchased for $19 million. And I'm trying to look for it to get the acreage. And correct me if I'm wrong, but 146 acres, 130 purchase of land was purchased for you, the residents of Golden Lane. All up all our hand together, you know, because we could have taken that 19 million and do something else. But because y'all were asking, clamoring, begging, the chief was here. And when I said chief, I mean dear chief, now we own. For 3 terms. If he didn't love Golden Lane so much, wall of recreation ground. Coteaux Charles, unfortunately, had 1 term as chief secretary. If he only had more, all I would not see where Golden Lane pass. All I would not see. But they want to come and play the walking up and down here, taking out videotape, taping, asking for recreation ground, going and ask about wall, the same wall the financiers and bill. No shame they have. No shame. And let me tell you something, the kind of passion I have to ensure that this seat doesn't go back to the PNM. All I don't even know. I just dream it. I just dream it. Walking up and down and getting on like they're brand new. Like somebody baptized them and they come again. Same old wicked, dirty PNM. And I hold no apology for it. None. None. And Liz Williams, don't make me no headline tomorrow, you know. No, but seriously, this kind of way where they just dress somebody else up in the jersey and send them out as if we gonna forget what they do. Golden Lane will never forget how they treat Coteaux Charles. I want all of you to remember, plenty of them getting big money in their pocket to walk up and down to play the endorsing them. All of take the money if they bring it for you, you know, take it. Sponsor liquor hamper too. Let me give it to elders in the district. But you know what you're doing on January the 12th, Golden Lane. Like it or you know what you're doing on January the 12th. Bethesda, I don't have to talk to you twice. And Homes of Adventure, including you. Because Homes of Adventure, you have now increased the electorate of Bethesda. A lot of you were not voting where you live. And you run to the EBC beautifully. And you change your address. And I love it. Vote where you live. Now, my residents, when the chief secretary and this team came up with this Tobago is we slogan, I sit down with the slogan. And I said, wow, you know, we came out of the let we fix this with the PDP. You all remember? And we liked it because we know we was coming in to do the work. You remember the billboards where we were dressed in jumpsuit with hard hat? We come in to fix the place. We didn't know what so much to fix. But now, we as an administration realize we can't fix it alone. We can't fix it alone. Tobago, we have to fix this together. We have to build it together. We have to enjoy it together because Tobago is we. Tobago is we. And so when I go to the polls to vote for myself on January 12th, and I'm voting for myself, I am voting carrying all of you, all 3,500 plus of you on my shoulders, because I understand what's at stake. I understand the mission. But I want you to understand the role you play in building this greatest little island on the planet. We can't build it alone. Tobago, you need to understand that you, we, all are we, have a role to play.
You respect that? You respect that?
And so, as I said earlier, no one group of people in controlling me like a puppet on a string. They could control but they can't control me. And so whether they send one guy, a Thomas, and a next guy, on the 12th of January, the people of Bethesda, the homes of Adventia, Coteaux, Golden Lane, and Woodlands will be doing the right thing because they understand that Tobago is we, not them. Tobago is we. And so, when you wake up on the 12th of January, whether you're coming from Palatavia, Lansome, Speyside, Roxborough, Argyle, Bell Garden, Glamorgan, and all the big up all the area reps if they're here too. Mount St. George, Goodwood, Mason Hall South, Bagatelle, Mason Hall North, Moriah, Plymouth Blackrock, Darrell Spring Wim, Lambo Lowlands, Patience Hill, Signal Hill, Bethel, Newgrange, Bucko, Mount Pleasant, Bonaccord, Crown Point, or Bethesda, Coteaux. We vote in the anchor. We're ramming it next to the anchor. We're jamming it next to the anchor. And here we're like, they tried to do a thing last time. And put we anchor in a black box, so remember? The anchor big and bold now. Big and bold now. And so we're waking up early. By midday, we must done vote and rock back, waiting on the biggest celebration this island ever see. Because it's not 1, it's not 2, it's not 3, it's not 4, it's not 5, it's not 6, it's not 7, it's not 8, it's not 9, it's not 10, it's not 11, it's not 12, it's not 13, certainly not 14. All 15 seats. All. I want all. I want all. Tobago, I want all. I want all. So we're going and work hard. We're going and work hard. We got to take a break for the Christmas. We got drink with rum and we punch our creep. And we're going back out there from the second. Big and bold. Brave and blue. To ensure that we continue the dream of building out the greatest, Golden Lane, the greatest, Coteaux, the greatest, Bethesda, the greatest, Woodlands, the greatest, Homes of Adventure, the greatest little island on the planet, because Tobago is we. Tobago is we. I am Assemblyman Zorisha Hackett, and I endorse this message.
TPP. Straight victory. Bethesda.
Bethesda,
Who we want here? Who we need? See ya.
Bethesda,
Tell the opposition one see ya never two. Boom, boom, boom. One see ya never two. Boom, boom, boom. TPP taking over the whole venue. TPP taking over the whole venue. Watch the movement. Watch the pace. See ya Hackett running.
My people.
Stand up, show them your hand. Homes of Adventure, we rule in the land. They cut to massive, mash up the tingling, golden land. Ready for the mingling, from the top to the bottom. Hear what we say, Woodlands crew, clear out the way. We represent hard, we represent
Bethesda,
hard.
Coteaux.
making us proud.
There you had Assemblyman
You respect that?
Zorisha Hackett. Brothers and sisters, she brighter? She bright. That is a product of Plymouth Anglican. I could boast for that. And then the school on the hill, BHS. That is a girl from Bethesda. Brothers and sisters, I want you to understand one thing. You people of Bethesda, Coteaux. Earlier, Zorisha gave the name of her grandmother, Ika Guy. When you're talking about bloodline, the only guy that you should pay attention to in this election is Zorisha Hackett. That is the only guy. The only guy. Bethesda Coteaux deserves a girl, not a guy. And we're talking about gender now. Deserves a girl that comes from the guy bloodline, not the male from the guy bloodline. Brothers and sisters, we have reached where the air is rare. Let us welcome the political leader of the Tobago People's Party, Farley, the Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine.
A week but I'm holding on in order to stay around in a life therapy imbalance. For it is nature's way until judgment day. Weakness ain't got a chance. Playing some cause I realize the price little one must pay to keep the big one in paradise. This torment and misery all day. Destruction of the weak is nature's plan. The humble and the meek must understand. This day of the strong man is the devil.
Golden Lane, good night. Tobago, good night. Now, after hearing your current and your next era representative, Zorisha Hackett, I see I could just pack up and go back home.
You respect that?
Because she said it so well and spoke to the issues so well. Golden Lane, good night. Coteaux, good night. Bethesda, good night. Homes at Adventure, good night. Yes, I want to thank you all for joining us this evening. I mean, we have a very large crowd here at the junction in Golden Lane. Imagine if we start to bus people in for meetings. We ain't going to have space for people. But tonight, you know, I want to pick up on some things that Secretary Hackett spoke about. Because sometimes when the enemy see that you're quiet and you're not responding and you're not saying much and you're smiling, they just take your niceness for weakness. But you see, in this election, come January the 12th, we will demonstrate for all and sundry true Tobago power by turning up and turning out and voting for the Tobago People's Party from Charlottesville to Crown Point, from Scarborough across the land from me, and everywhere in between. Tonight, Secretary Hackett spoke to you about how much we invested in this area, how we have even given contracts to people from this area to do work for you, and the work is still outstanding. I know what is interesting is that those same people walking around saying that we're giving the contracts to Trinidadians, and when we give them contract, they're taking me money, they're taking your money, going away with the money, and end doing your work. Well, I want to tell you something tonight, Tobago. When we put out a contract for tender. It is for open tender, and we want people who will come from wherever and complete the work on behalf of the people of Tobago so that you get the services that you deserve. We came into office in 2021 of December. By January, I did an assessment. I was then the Secretary of Finance, and I did an assessment of Tobago House of Assembly's debt. You know how much was our debt? We came into office owing over $900 million, close to $1 billion. We inherited as a debt. And I remember carrying it in the house, and the minority leader creeping across the floor and saying, well, you in charge now. Fix that now. Over $900 million in debt. And I want you to understand how governance does work. The decision we have to make as a government is to decide if we are going to pay every single cent of that debt every single year and do no development work whatsoever, or we will pay little by little and still do some development work. I want you to also understand, Tobago, what 900 plus million in debt looks like. On an average, we get about $250 million for development expenditure. 900 million mean that is 1 fiscal year, 2 fiscal year, 3 fiscal year, and you still need a 4th fiscal year to cover that entire debt totally. And on top of that, when we looked through the files, we saw that the former regime took a loan, a massive loan. They pulled out $165 million. They claimed that we had emergency road works to be done because of inclement weather. They gave out contracts to their friends willy-nilly. They spent out the $165 million. Then they still gave out more contracts on top of that. Because remember, they were hoping to retain the THA and win the election. But they spent all the money and still get their ass cut. And come January 12th, they could bring up all the financiers from Trinidad. They could bring up Penny from Trinidad. They could bring out Rowley from retirement. They could bring out whoever they want. They will get their backside cut come the 12th of January 2026, same way. Anyhow they swing his licks, they get in. And so they spent out the $165 million, and then they issue out a set of contracts as design build finance. What design build finance means is that you're doing the work for free, and then the THA will pay you on the back end. When we commissioned a forensic audit into those works, we see where they had certificates of completion signed by public officers. And when we go on the roads that they claim that they built, the roads were either incomplete, the roads were shorter than what this certificate of completion said. They didn't use as much materials as they claimed they used. And guess what we did? We called in the lawyers, and we said to everybody, and I said it repeatedly, we will only pay for work that was done, not a red cent more. Whatever you do, we'll pay you for that. And then we call in the lawyers, and I can tell you that right now as we speak, and there's no election gimmick, since January this year, we issued pre-action protocol letters to several contractors who robbed and are attempting to rob the people of Tobago. We issued a pre-action protocol letter to a former secretary of the THA, a former PNM secretary of the THA, and to date, only one of them have responded. But you know, we are Tobagonians. And when we say Tobago is we, you just want to give even your miserable neighbor, even your wicked neighbor, a chance to respond to you fairly. So we don't rush them. We don't say, well, the period for the pre-action protocol letter done, so we carry that to court one time. We still have to give them a little bit more time to respond. And all know they can't respond. So when you see certain contractors jumping up behind them, know that they are hoping to get rid of Farley so that they could walk away scot-free. But I want you to know that time longer than twine. I want you to know that the moral arc of the universe is long and it always bends towards justice. I want you to know that all unfair games must play over. I want you to know that what you're doing in night, daylight must come catch it. And everybody will see. And come the 13th of January 2026, after winning 15 seats the night before, the first act that we will do is to instruct the lawyers to proceed immediately to court and carry every single one of them to pay back the people of Tobago what they have stolen from the coffers, from the taxpayers of the people of Tobago. And that's not revenge. That's not bad mind. That is ensuring that we stand up for that which is right and that which is just. You deserve every cent back of your money. Every cent back of your money. And I'm sure you were shocked tonight when you heard that some of those walking about financing our opponents got contracts over $1 million, 50% mobilization, not even the usual 30%, 50% mobilization, wall care bill, people house going away, mud and slush washing down into people's house, and then you have the guts to walk around and ask to vote. That is wickedness in high order, and they have the guts to be upset when I talk about Satan children. I know for sure that we serve a living God on this side, and anybody who seeks to do evil to people, you are not representative of the Most High God. Turn and change your ways. Go find a church and get baptized and come again. Because we will not support you and your evil. Not in this election. And then, on top of the debt, on top of what they owed us, we have been so good. We have been so good. If this was another administration, they would have closed their fists and say, you know what? We're not paying them a red cent. We're not paying them no money at all. Let it carry court all the way up to the Privy Council. You know what we have done? After doing the forensic report and looking at what we actually owe them versus from what they claim we owe them, we have paid up to $91 million to these same contractors. If that is not Tobago love, I don't know what is. So when we say Tobago is we, that's no idle boast, that's no catchphrase, that is an understanding that we love even our enemies and we treat everybody fair and equal, including those who do not vote for us and who do not support us. Tobago is we. 91 million we have paid to those same contractors to date. And then I want to address a lingering issue. This issue about Trini contractors getting all the work. That is a lie. The data does not support it. The statistics do not support it. Lied bad. And they keep repeating it in hopes that it becomes true, that you believe it. And I'm happy that we have sensible people on this island. There is only one division in the entirety of the Tobago House of Assembly who to date has paid more monies to Trinidad contractors than Tobago contractors. Only one. And I can explain why. Because that division, more than any other division, utilized the modality we now call design, build, finance. And when you look at a road work where a contractor is asked to pelt out $80 million in front and wait on the money, $40 million in front, wait on the money. The reality is that the people who will win those contracts will be people who have significant financial backing in their banks. Because you are asked to foot the cost up front. And let me give you an example. The people of Moriah, down in King Peter's Bay Road, You are driving where steps were all the time. That was a design build finance. And what you don't know is that the same Trini contractor they bad talking who do that work, still waiting on some of his money. He and Sui up to now. And he's still waiting patiently. And every financial year, we give him a little bit, and then a little bit, and then a little bit. While the people of Moriah and the people of King Peter's Bay Road are driving up and down on that road and enjoying modern comfort. I want you to understand how such a modality is advantageous to the people of Tobago and disadvantageous to the contractor who must now wait till whenever we get money to fund them and to pay them back. And that's just one example. But I want to go through all of the divisions for you. And I got this data from the Secretary of Finance. And I want to share it with you because data don't lie. When we go to the division of food security, the division of food security had 0 Trinidad contractors. And the division of food security gave out $43 million in contracts. 100% of that went to Tobago contractors. That is what you call Tobago is we. We went to Coteaux division. In Coteaux division, they only had 1 Trinidad contractor. And in Coteaux division, $10 million was spent on contracts. All to Tobago contractors. And the 1 Trinidad contractor, guess is who? Udicot Limited. Who hire Udicot? Is PNM hire Udicot? My administration never hired Udicot for the 4 years we have been here. In fact, what we did is develop and build out EIDCOT under the determination that we will develop our own premier project management team on the island. That is what we mean by Tobago is we and empowering we own. Not UDCOT when we have EIDCOT. And then on top of that, we go to the division of education, research, and technology. They only use a Trini contractor 4 times in 4 years. But they have spent to date, the division of education have spent to date just over $111 million. All of that to Tobago contractors. No Trini contractor in that. And then we go to the division of health, wellness, and social protection. They only utilize 2 Trini contractors. And those 2 Trini contractors only take up $112,000. While they gave out contracts to the total sum of just over $3.4 million, all to Tobago contractors. And then we go to settlements. Settlements have paid 0 Trini contractors. And settlements only now have some tenders, for which some Trini contractors actually tendered. But the division has not issued contracts to any Trini contractors up until this point. And they have spent just over $11 million, all on Tobago contractors. And then let me go to the 1 division. The 1 division, which is Works. Works spent $110 million on Trini contractors and $48 million on Tobago contractors. So in other words, when you add up all the divisions of the THA, only 1 division had more Trini contractors than Tobago contractors. And when we add up the total sum, more monies were spent on Tobago contractors than on Trinidad contractors as a matter of fact. So when they come and tell you that all the money gone on Trini contractors, they are liars. And they are telling you what they are accustomed doing. I want when they come by you, ask them who PNM gave the contract for $30+ million to rehabilitate the market in Scarborough. That was a Trini contractor. Ask them who PNM gave the contract to build that monstrosity on the beach in Castara. That was a Trini contractor. Ask them if Trinidad contractors never used to get contract in school repair program in Tobago under PNM. Ask them. And until the PNM comes and apologize and say that they were wrong for giving Foster Cummings contract, they were wrong for giving all the Trini Friends contract, they were wrong for giving Rahal a contract with Milsherv, until they come and apologize to that, run them red hypocrites out of your yard. Tell them there is no place for hypocrisy in this election. In this election, we are blue and true. In this election, we vote on facts and not on fiction. In this election, we vote based on what is real and not what is fake. No fake news wrong here. We are voting for the Tobago People's Party come January 12, 2026. And we're not backing down. We're not changing our mission. Because you see, you have to understand, Tobago, that if we have to build this island, it will take you and me, but it will take us also from time to time engaging people who are not even from Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know which country in the world develops in isolation by itself. Which one? Which one? You people are leaving here and traveling across the world and seeing things in other Caribbean islands built by Chinese, built by Americans, built by the Dutch, and coming home and saying, oh Lord, out there nice, but it's not even their own people build it. And so don't get carried away with the foolishness. If Tobago is to grow, yes, the majority of our spend must be retained by the people of Tobago. But now and again, you have to engage people from all over the world to come here and help us develop this place. Look at what has happened in Scarborough. Look at what has happened in Scarborough. Tobago tried to fix that road from Shore Park, from Coast Guard Base, going around Scarborough Sec. The road still going in the sea. It's still going in the sea because we just did not have the capabilities here to fix it. That might have been a project that we should have called in the Dutch or the French or one of those that are excellent at building causeways and doing sea retaining systems, sea walls and so on. You have to know where the expertise is and go and get it from wherever in the world. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. We are building out the greatest little island on the planet. We're not trying to build out shanty towns. We're not trying to give up when we can't do it ourselves. We are trying to find the best of the best to give us the best of the best. And for most things, Tobagonians can in fact give us the best of the best. But for the few things that we can't actually get here, we just have to go somewhere else and get it. That is logical. And so I've given you the numbers. I have given you the figures. I have said to you how much we spent on Tobago contractors versus Trinidad contractors. I have proven that we have spent more, much more, significantly more on Tobago contractors. I have said to you only one division had more Trini contractors than Tobago contractors. I have also given you the reason why. Because of the design, build, finance modality, where the contractor must come up with their money 100% up front before getting paid. And I have given you an example of how that is working, such as in Moriah. Ask yourself, which and how many Tobago contractors could have built a road in Moriah and wait more than 4 years to get all the money? We would have got a court case a long time. Long time, because they want the money now. And what we have been doing is that for contracts that are design build, meaning we're getting your mobilization up front and getting to move and get paid as the contract go along, that we try our best to ensure we can secure those for Tobagonians and those that are much more disadvantageous on the contractor. We reserve that for the outsiders. That is smart leadership. You give your people the best, and you save the hardest and the worst part of the work for the outsiders. That makes sense. That is being patriotic. That is how you treat with Tobago is we. That is what we mean by that. And so you have to ask yourself, if they were in this seat, what would happen? Well, we don't have to wonder, because there was a time that PNM was in charge in Tobago, but not in charge in Trinidad. And during those 5 years of the then People's Partnership government in Trinidad, you know what they did? They bring up everybody here to take your work. Ask them if former ministers who weren't working in the Division of Finance drawing big money as consultant. Ask them if their political friends in Trinidad were not in fact getting contracts in Tobago to fund the campaign in Trinidad and to fund the PNM party nationally. Ask them that. Ask them that Milshove, you have to pay $20 million every single year for that building that the Division of Food Security in. You know that? Every year, you have to pay $20 million to that. You know how that deal come about? The Tobago House of Assembly purchased that piece of land from Soyafat, Angus, and their family. And after they buy the piece of land from them, they then lease the piece of land to the Rahals for small money. I don't even know if it passed $100 a year. They lease it for them for small money. The Rahals in turn built this big building, and then the THA took about $20 million, put it in an escrow account, and say to the Rahal family, use this money and get a loan, build this building for us. And after doing all of that, the THA still have to pay $20 million every single year to that PNM family. That is how PNMs operate. So when they're telling you about money spirited away to Trinidad, tell them it's PNM Jumbie that took our money to Trinidad to help build Balize House. But tell them that Jumbie is dead and that Jumbie cannot exist in Tobago anymore. No place here. They will not rebuild their party on the backs of tax-paying Tobagonians. We see how they operate when they're not in power in Trinidad and they're in power in Tobago. They give all the political hacks from Trinidad contracts. Those are facts. And until Ansel Dennis will come here and stand there and apologize to the people of Tobago and say you're sorry for Milshove, you're sorry you give Foster and them contracts, you're sorry you are hiring them, until they're willing to condemn that and apologize with sincerity, we have no time to listen to them whatsoever. Because since Hochoy dead, this is the only platform of truth on the island. Not another one exists anywhere. Not another one exists anywhere. Not another one comes close to his legacy. Not another one. So they could huff and they could puff. But they shall not blow this house down. Because we anchor down strong. We're firmly rooted and grounded. This anchor ain't going anywhere. We anchor down firm and strong. And Tobago, I tell you, we don't know what the future holds. But we serve a God that knows what the future holds. We don't know what global issues will be a year from now or 2 years from now. But we know that once there is good leadership, once there's a TPP government, that we can feel secure going to our beds after January 12th, knowing that the government has your back, the government will fight for you, the government will work for you, and the government will fix your issues little by little.
You respect that? You respect that?
Golden Lane. I want you to appreciate Golden Lane. That all the things you wanted did not come in these 4 years. Rome was not built in a day. But I assure you that no other administration has spent as much money, has invested as much money in Golden Lane like this administration. You heard about it? Just one piece of land alone is $19 million. Just one piece of land. You're talking about village expansion. I talked to a farmer from this area about 3 weeks ago. He asked me for a piece of land to go and carry goats and the sheep. You're talking about agriculture. You're talking about a playing field. You're talking about a land that already comes with planning approvals for resorts and villas. You're talking about tourism development on this side of the island. People in Golden Lane must get up and walk to work and feel good about it and work in prestigious jobs too, and must have the vision to be entrepreneurs and be supported by the state. And I want to tell you, Bethesda, Coteaux, you have a very good area representative. You have somebody that works for you, that advocates for you. I see us showing up. I see us showing up with all kind of classes, all kind of training program for the youngsters. I know what it was like last year when the murder rate was climbing and things were happening crazy in this community. It is this teacher that run in and say, let us set up a temporary police station in the community center. Is we foot the bill. Is we try to get that going to bring peace, safety, and security to this community. We didn't wait on any instruction from Trinidad. We did it ourselves because we care about this community. We care about you. We are about your holistic development. So young people in this area, now is not time to change course. For 4 years, and you heard all the things the Division of Education has done. She wasn't sitting down home doing nothing. Look at how many things the Division of Education has done. Education has paid more gratuities to contracted teachers in this 4 years than ever before. Education has paid more increments in this 4 years than ever before. Education has the community impact program going right now as we speak. Education has treated with special needs unlike any other administration before. And I'm saying to you, one good term deserves another good term. And Zorisha Hackett deserves another term. I watch how we have to have competition. And I see some of my good friends from Coteaux here. Competition for who could host the best heritage in this zone. Coteaux was jumping out all the years. All of a sudden, Golden Lane jumping out now and running the dance. But guess what? We are a government of inclusion.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was just making the point that even with something as simple as the Heritage Festival, we are about inclusion and giving communities like Golden Lane a chance to join and to participate again. Long time they didn't participate, and the reviews were so excellent that I take up my phone the next day and I call a good friend from Coteaux. I said, girl, you're in trouble right now. Because like Golden Lane come out to take all your spot. But it's not about Golden Lane and Coteaux warring each other. It's about building a cohesive Tobago community. Because Tobago is we. Tobago is you and me. Tobago is we. And this is about protecting the Tobago that you love. This is about ensuring that Tobago for the next 4 years does not become the feeding ground for a party that is dying in Trinidad. This is about ensuring that the Tobago that you love remains a Tobago for Tobagonians and a Tobago in which your children can go and actually self-actualize. That is what this is about in this election. And so we have one task, one great task. This democracy is something we should cherish. Because we live to countries neighboring us that just don't have this kind of democracy. Especially when you go down to South America. Not calling any names, but in some countries you could vote and don't even see the results of your vote. We are proud to be part and parcel of a democratic institution where your vote actually is counted. And I want you to get your vote counted. I want you to ensure you are ready to vote. I want you to look at the symbol carefully and look at it well. I want you to remember that there is just one symbol that we are voting for. Regardless of the district you're in and the name alongside the symbol, we are voting for one symbol and one symbol only. And that symbol is an anchor. That symbol is an anchor. And everybody in Tobago knows the powerful meaning behind the anchor. Everybody knows that even during rough seas, a good anchor will hold the ship down. Everybody knows that even when it's calm and sea lie down, a good anchor prevents you from drifting away. Everybody knows that when the currents are strong and pulling, that a good anchor down will keep the boat in place and keep it from going adrift. And there is only one anchor in this election. And we have that anchor. We are the holders and keepers of that anchor. And I want you to come out and vote for the anchor. Put your X next to the anchor. Vote for the Tobago People's Party. Ram it next to the anchor. Sink it down next to the anchor. Anchored firm and deep in our Savior's love. Anchored because Tobago is we. Anchored to protect your children's posterity. Anchored down to ensure that your future is as bright as today. Anchored down to ensure that those who are enemies of this land shall never, ever, ever again run and manage this island. Anchored down because the elderly and those that are vulnerable needs a good and solid government to keep them in check and to take care of them. Anchored down because the corruption that happened the 4 years period previously will only be erased by this Tobago People's Party. And I want you to know you can still have confidence in this anchor. The anchor holds. Tobago is we. January 12th, 2026. One mission, one vision, one plan, one action. We're voting for the anchor. We're voting Zorisha Hackett. We're voting Kern Alexis. We're voting Ian Whitey Pollard. We're voting Darren Henry. We're voting Keegan Denoon. We're voting Nikita Percy. We're voting for Wayne West Clark. We're voting for Trevor James. We're voting for Ricky Joe Field. We're voting for Natisha Charles Pantin. We're voting for Megan Morrison. We're voting for Dr. Faith Bremner. We're voting for Orlando Kerr. And when we get up to Palatoville Lansome Speyside, we're ramming the X in big numbers for Farley Chavez Augustine, your political leader. Thank you very much. God bless you. Love you all. The anchor holds. Tobago is we. Tobago is we. Tobago is we.
Thank you, political leader of the Tobago People's Party, Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine. Brothers and sisters, tomorrow night, the meeting is at the Delaford Community Center, 6 p.m. So we journey to the east tomorrow, Delaford. We are going up in support of the candidate for Roxborough, Argyle, Councillor Orlando Kerr. And part of Delaford is also represented by the political leader, Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine. Brothers and sisters, you have gotten the message loud and clear. The anchor is the only symbol to look for and to vote for on January 12, 2026. Bethesda Coteaux, your candidate, Zorisha Hackett. Brothers and sisters, public service announcement. Please do not take the large flags away with you. They are going to be collected. No resistance, please. Brothers and sisters, get to your home safely, but before you leave this place, let us welcome Garden Night. entertainment time. Garden night, the man from space side. God bless all of you. Get home safely. Tomorrow afternoon, we journey to Delaford to meet with our brothers and sisters in the East. Thank you, Golden Lane. Thank you for welcoming us.
Yes. Golden Lane. Who are the power? Let me see the flags now. Let me see the flags. Are coming out here. Yeah. Who are the power? Hear me now. Hey, TTP, yeah, the power. Favor not Babylonian. Every hour, TTP, them have the power. Say wicked man, we so you can devour, cause you know we have the power. Favor not hypocrite and vampire. Yes, I know you are the. Yes, you have the. Hackett have the. Yeah, hear me. Cause when you rise in the morning, you give a power chant. Get in here, and then you wrap your power plan. Cause power inspiration when you know we. Hear me again. So when you hold on pandy, you give a power chant. Hold on pan your woman and give them a power chant. Who are the power? Let me see the flags. TPP, them have the power. Favor not Babylonian. Every hour, TPP, them have the power. Hey, PNM, well, you sure get the power. TPP, them have the power. Favor not hypocrite and vampire. Yes, Farley, him have the. Hackett have the. Yes. Help me. It's them. Stop from call my. Pull up. Hackett. Say yeah. Yes, Golden Lane, you don't know. Hit name. Stop from call my and give me the. You're just trying to bring me down in shame. I won't play those games. Oh, God bless them.